97X, Tampa Bay's new rock alternative, The Morning X with Drew and Seth. That is the new Linkin Park, Let It Burn. The CD, Living Things, drops June 26th, if I'm not mistaken. Danielle, are they good to go? Are we getting closer to Mike Shinoda?
You're good to go.
We're one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break.
Oh, man.
Let's get him on, and right now present to you Linkin Park's Mike Shinoda.
Drew and Seth, you're on with Mike Shinoda.
Hi, Mike Shinoda.
Hi, guys.
How are you, man?
I'm doing really well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, we're quite delighted to speak to you. We're doing really well. Thank you very much.
All right.
Let's get the pleasantries out of the way and launch right into Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park.
Hey, Mike, all these phone interviews haven't given you a beat down yet. You sound really peppy and ready to go.
I am peppy and ready to go. Thanks.
Good, man.
Or either that or I'm faking it.
Well, either way, man, you're delivering what we need, which is a peppy, enthusiastic Mike Shinoda, man. Even if
I'm really. I mean, it's been a while since we had some new music out there. The fans are just blowing us up on Twitter and Facebook, and LinkinPark.com is just. I mean, it's the excitement is out there, and we're that's exactly what you would hope for when you release new music.
Yeah, absolutely. And how plugged in are you to that progress or process, Mike? In that, are you monitoring Twitter nonstop once you drop a single like "Burn It Down"?
Yeah, we're very active online. I don't know if you guys a little bit of history on the band and how that plays a part. We actually named the band Linkin Park because we couldn't get LinconPark.com, and that's back in the day when before the Google and all the search engines were quite as crazy as they are now. This is back when a .com actually was starting to mean a lot. So we changed the name of the band so that we could get the .com. Ever since then, we've just used we know that the importance of keeping our online community kind of like somewhat focused and keeping everybody just paying attention, I guess, is really what it comes down to, letting the fans know that they have a direct connection with the band on those,
Absolutely.
wherever we're present.
Yeah, and I imagine that what you're reading so far today and what you're hearing is that it's probably a return to the classic Linkin Park that people fell in love with, the hybrid theory stuff. That's just an assumption on my part. Feel free to tell me I'm full of crap.
No, I think I actually addressed this on go to on my website on MikeShinoda.com. I did a little post on this this weekend, and here's what I'd say. Actually, do you have a moment for me to kind of go? It's a little bit of a detour.
Yeah, you're Mike friggin' Shinoda. You've got a moment, bro.
It's a little. Bear with me. So on the last record, actually for a couple records, we've kind of been really excited about veering out into some musical territory that's challenging for us. It's challenging for the fans. We thought after the first two records, we'd done the same thing. If we had done the same thing over and over again, we'd be stuck doing it forever. So with Minutes to Midnight, we took a couple steps outside the box. And then with 1,000 Suns, we went way outside the box. And even making that record, we knew that people, the fans, it was going to polarize people. And there were going to be a lot of people who didn't like it. And for us, the importance in that exercise was that we wanted to push ourselves to do things that we had never done before, to kind of explore creative territory that was unfamiliar to us, and to learn a lot and essentially put tools in the toolbox that we didn't have before. And then at some point between then and now, we realized that we were basically avoiding something. We were avoiding using the tools that we walked in with, that we were just so focused on trying new things that we weren't doing things that we were already kind of good at doing. And it was, there's decisions on all fronts that like, sometimes you regret things, like you look back at old pictures of yourself, and like my parents, I would always make fun of my dad. He had these like huge collared shirts and bell bottoms, old pictures that are so silly, right?
Right.
And he wouldn't do that today, but he also wouldn't like take it back like that. That was the look. That was cool back then, right?
Sure.
So I have, like my version of that is like having like bright red hair on Hybrid Theory. Like, I don't regret some of these things that we did on Hybrid Theory at all, but I just wouldn't do them again. And on the other hand, there are things that we haven't done in a while that I'm excited about doing again because we haven't done them in a while. So this record isn't a throwback to Hybrid Theory by any means. It's simply a return to the concept of Hybrid Theory, which is that we have all these different things that we can do, all these things that we like, and some of them are really, there's a lot of variety there. And what we are, I think one of the things that we like to do and we're good at, hopefully, is to take all that stuff and blend it together into one thing.
Right on. We're talking to Mike Shinoda of Linkin Park. We just started playing the new single, Burn It Down.
Hey, Mike, do you guys still feel like you have something to prove after all these years?
Yes, in some cases I feel like we do. Believe me, there are days when I want to I want to go on Twitter and do a Kanye rant. But it's really not my style. I think that a lot of that stuff, the way I get it out, rather than just like complaining about it or whatever, is in actually action. It's like it's in the music, it's in the artwork that we do. I think we really do put a lot into each song and each record.
Right on. We've got Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park.
Mike, when you guys go into the studio, are you making music for yourselves, the fans, or do you try and find that balance?
I would definitely we do care what the fans think for sure. But I would say that if there's not a lot you can do to make people like anything. I mean, there's people's opinions and stuff are out of your hands. So if you base your happiness on what somebody else thinks, then you're going to be screwed. I don't personally. I just don't think that that's like healthy for me. So what it ends up being is like a focus on what I can do better, what I can learn. As we do our shows, I want to play the best show I can, play as hard as I can. As it comes to like a record like this, like I said, like you hope that people like it. Like I'm not saying like I don't care what people think. I hope they like it. And luckily so far, like we're as we were talking about before, we're pretty heavy on Twitter and Facebook, and obviously LinkinPark.com. And the response so far from the fans has been super positive, and they're excited about the song, and that's like exactly what you would cross your fingers and hope would happen when you put out new music.
Absolutely. We've got Mike Shinoda. And Mike, since you're so plugged in through your Twitter and through MikeShinoda.com and everything, what's the worst thing you've ever read about Linkin Park?
I was saying to somebody this morning, I don't know if I'm allowed. Bleep me if I'm not allowed.
Go for it, bro. I'll bleep away.
It's in the margins maybe. But I read I do read this stuff. I'm like some people. I think some celebrities, especially like I hear it's like athletes and stuff, like don't write their own Twitter.
Right.
Don't they're the blog posts and Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff are actually written by like a publicist. Now when it comes to us, like we are writing our stuff. So I am checking my Twitter. I'm reading comments sometimes, usually actually, and in the comments I'll see like 99% of them are positive, like. Good way to go, guys. We're so excited about the new song. And then there's I saw 2 negative comments, and both of them, it was so ironic. Both of them were like, this song is gay. And I was like, nice choice of words, and good riddance. If that's the word you're going to use to describe a song you don't like, then take a hike.
we might not be the band for you. You may want to move on to like Nickelback or something like that.
That's who you are. And I imagine them saying it in that voice too. Like, this song is gay. Like, okay, guys, you know what? You're out. You're out of here. Please unfollow me. We don't need you around.
You can't be a Linkin Park fan anymore. That's great. We've got.
If that offends anybody who actually is a Linkin Park fan, I mean, they know. Like, if you go to our website and stuff, we discourage that kind of like stuff on our website. It's just like it'd be cool. Like, be over it.
Right. Don't be a douche.
Be over it, man.
Exactly. Mike, hang on one second. I hate to do this. We're up against the clock, so Danielle, just get with him and tell him to hang on a sec.
Yikes. I hope this isn't a Black Keys moment. I hope that he actually is able to stay on hold for it.
I think that he will. He seems very nice, and he's got a lot of energy.
What a great guy. That was so insightful stuff. So, all right, coming up next, we'll have more with Mike Shinoda. You still haven't asked him your Jay-Z question.
That is true.
You got that in your back pocket, and I will ask him flat out, dude, does Linkin Park belong do Linkin Park belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? That's next with Mike Shinoda. 97X, Tampa Bay's new rock alternative, The Morning X with Drew and Seth.
We had another song to play, but we cannot keep Mike Shinoda waiting any longer.
I was just stressing out. I'm like, I can't play this other song. There's no way Shinoda sits through Rise Against. I'm sorry, Rise Against. You got to get the hell out of here. We got to get Mike Shinoda back on the line with us to talk about Linkin Park and stuff here with Mike Shinoda.
Hey, Mike, where does working with Jay-Z rank among your career highlights?
It's pretty high. It's pretty high. I'd say even higher than that was the Paul McCartney, the one with Jay and Paul McCartney at the Grammys. That was like stressful, but when it came out right, it was just really, and I look at it, even to this day, I look at it and go, I can't even believe we did that without having a heart attack or something, just so cool.
Did you have to call him Sir Paul McCartney?
We wanted to. But he puts out this whole sense of like this relaxed kind of thing. It's almost like he's like a Jedi mind trick. He's like, you see him and he's like, oh, hey, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And it's very mellow. He was even like shaking hands and hanging out with the janitor at the venue. I mean, he is the mellow. I mean, I'm telling you, that guy was like freaking out that Paul McCartney was paying attention to him.
Sure.
And yeah, Paul was just like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, there's so many things that I feel like we've done. We've done a lot of stuff that's been really just surreal, and it's a testament to the personalities in the band that the guys all like. We keep each other in check. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
And if you get a little too big-headed, a lot of people, like the rest of the band, will give you a hard time about it.
Right.
If it shows up a little bit, we'll start to like pick on each other. So I think that helps.
Mike, before we let you go, my man, I'm going to put you on the spot. Yesterday they had the Rock and Roll, or over the weekend they had the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions. Beastie Boys are in, Chili Peppers are in. Are we looking at Linkin Park in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame first ballot?
I would love that. That would be an honor, and that would be amazing. I was in the studio with Rick that last week.
Yeah.
It was me and Brad. I don't know if we were all there. I think it was me and Brad. And we were asking him about it. First of all, I was asking, is MCA okay?
Yeah, no, he wasn't there.
And Rick said, yeah, he's probably not going to make it, but he's doing okay, but he's not better. But he didn't really have anything to say. For me, like those bands that just got inducted, I mean, that's part of my like musical identity. That's like what I grew up listening to, and that's one of the reasons why it's such an honor and a pleasure to work with a guy like Rick, because
right.
Those are his records. I mean, it's incredible what they've all done, and I'm really happy for them.
Absolutely, man. Well, we appreciate your time very much, man. We're playing the single already, Burn It Down. Can't wait for the Living Things to drop, and we're all going to get our hands on that, man. Thank you so much for being such a great guy, and congrats on your years of success, Mike. Thank you, man, and thanks to the fans out there. Living Things is coming out on the 26th. Last thing I want to mention to the fans is we're going on tour, Honda Civic tour with Incubus in August. And all that information you can find. We're on Facebook.com/Linkin Park. Twitter, we're at Linkin Park. I'm on Twitter at M_Shinoda. Well, you can expect a tweet from me. I don't expect you to retweet me to your billions of followers or anything, but I will tweet you within 5 minutes of this interview in hopes that you don't forget me. Thank you guys very much. Thanks, Mike. Take care, man. All right. See ya. Oh, there's no way he's retweeting me.
No way. Go ahead. By the way, I checked all the dates for that. They don't have a date for Florida, so just so everybody knows.
They'll be here at some point. Whether it's this tour or another tour, they will be here.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to Carrie, who tweeted to say, will you ask him why their new tour doesn't include any Florida dates? I'm awkward enough without your help, ma'am. I don't need to jam him up like that.
I haven't seen our boss Shark in weeks, but I'm pretty sure he can give us the inside information on when Linkin Park is planning on coming here.
Are you certain that Shark is still our boss?
No, I really am not.
I thought so. Now, Rick, that he referred to, by the way, is Rick Rubin, famed producer of Beastie Boys, of the Chili Peppers.
I like how he did that Run DMC. Did he do a little Run DMC?
Yeah, absolutely, he did. And I like that Mike just said he called him Rick, assuming that everyone knows that he's Rick Rubin. Great guy. I love Shinoda. I really do. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was very insightful.